Paramashivoham. Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda.
Nithyanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gagana Sadrisham Sarvadi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam. Nithyananda, all of you and our where we have out our life from Kailasa, the world's only Hindu nation.
And for this 24 time zones. And we have all the blessed Kailashans and the Kailashans who have joined this Nithyananda Satsang via two-way video conferencing, and thousands of other devotees and disciples of Swamiji and viewers from various parts of the globe who have joined us from more than 500 plus Facebook pages, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and Nithyananda TV, Kailasa's NTV, Kailasa's HNTV, Kailasa TV, and so many other social media platforms to this direct divine audience with Swamiji himself.
We're extremely delighted to welcome all of you today. We have been a part of the Parliament of Kailasa, the Hindu Parliament, the only Hindu Parliament in the world. 36 tattvas of Paramashiva. Swamiji has already explained. Till the Ishvara Tattva, he has explained about the Sadashiva Tattva, Shiva Tattva, Shakti Tattva, and now the Ishvara Tattva.
And as we are all preparing ourselves to receive the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam, Swamiji, who is leading and guiding all of us, the 2 billion Hindus, into living a conscious lifestyle and having a super conscious breakthrough. Let us all watch a short video on understanding who is His Divine Holiness.
As new as sunrise. Various incarnations happened, gave a breakthrough to consciousness and introduce new consciousness which manifests powers of Sadashiva. As Mahamandaleshwar of Mahanirvani Akada, the oldest you, I have experienced Sadashiva in his completion, and he has empowered me to transmit that experience to all of you. Manifest Sadashivatva, powers and state and space of Sadashiva. When you manifesting more power manifestation, more integrity, more unclutching, more nirvikalpa samadhi, more joy, more restful awareness, more responsibilism, more enrich, more bliss. My purpose is to make this statement to the world: Hinduism is real. Ideas move from mind to mind. Energy moves from space to space. Cognitions move from body to body. That is why even Sadashiva needs a body. He assumed the body because he needs body to transmit these cognitions to you. Whatever I am doing is reviving the original science as expressed in Sanatana Hindu Dharma, Vedas and Agamas of the Hindu tradition. This universe is Agama. Agamas insist on us serving beyond our frame. Whatever experience, anubhuti I had by my Guru's grace, Atma Pramana, I do acid wash with Shastra Pramana, Apta Pramana, the ancient masters' experiences. Whatever finally stand, I share it with the world as Sakshi Pramana. I welcome everyone for the grand feast of Sanatana Hindu Dharma. Let us go on contributing.
His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Shri Nithyananda Paramashivam, is a reviver of Kailasa, the ancient enlightened civilization, the great cosmic borderless Hindu nation. He is an avatar from and Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. His Divine Holiness has made the science of power manifestation, yoga, and temple-based universities for humanity. The sovereign order of Kailasa, led by His Divine Holiness, and the Nithyananda order of monks, nuns, and the Hindu diaspora are working for global peace to give superconscious breakthrough to humanity. His Nithyananda Hindu University, which is the world's largest Hindu university, with extended campuses in over 150 countries, is continuously collecting, organizing, preserving, time capsuling, decoding, spreading, and reviving the 20 million source books of Hinduism and the 64 sacred arts and sciences like Ayurveda, music, dance, Vastu Shastra, Jyoti Shastra, etc. He is the 293rd Guru Mahasannidhanam of the Shamala Pita Sarvani Pitam, which is the ancient apex body of Hinduism. And he is also the present emperor of the Suryavamsha Sarangi Samrajyam. He has survived the worst persecution of multiple assassination attempts on person and character, and yet continuously contributing to humanity.
The first and foremost sacred secret I want you to know: integrity is falling in love with your higher personality. Understand? You do have Sadashivatva in you. You are hardwired for it. It's not that your Sadashivatva is gift from somebody. No. Understand? Just like how when you fall asleep, you put an alarm and tell the alarm, hey, wake me up tomorrow morning. Same way, that's exactly the way I sent my gurus. I sent my gurus to the planet Earth ahead of me and said, hey, I am coming. Wake me up when I assume the human body. My alarm clocks were my gurus. Hey, wake me up. Knowledge. Sadashiva. After I realized my enlightenment, I took my first Padayatra as per my Guru's instruction. That Padayatra is my first enriching Padayatra. See, I should say, I started organized public life in 2000. But my public life started when I was 12. How I started my public life? One person at a time. I'll walk from village to village, sit, spend some time. And small boy, naturally people will be curious, all alone. They will come and try to talk to me. Then I'll start talking to them and start enriching. Whatever little way I know. It was a raw, crude, ground level way. One person at a time. So I decided I am going to start my own way. one person at a time.
யாரெல்லாம் அவர்கிட்ட போயிட்டு ஆசீர்வாதம் கேட்கிறாரோ அவர் திண்ணூறு வச்சு இன்றைய நாள் நன்றாக இருக்கும் அப்படின்னு சொல்லி எல்லாருக்கும் ஆசீர்வாதம் பண்ணுவாங்க.
தெய்வீக சிரிப்புன்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. அந்த தெய்வீக சிரிப்பை என்னால இப்பவும் நல்லா உணர முடியும்.
ரூம்குள்ள வந்துட்டாருன்னா ஒண்ணு சும்மாவே இருக்க மாட்டாரு, புக் எடுத்து படிப்பாரு, இல்ல அந்த சிலைகளுக்கான அலங்காரங்கள் பண்றது இதெல்லாம் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்காக ஒர்க்கையும் டிஸ்டர்ப் பண்ண மாட்டாரு. ஒர்க் டைம் வந்தா அதுல இருந்து இறங்கி வந்து உடனே வேலைக்கு போடுவாரு. வேலைக்கு போயிட்டாருன்னா அங்க சிரிச்சு பேசி ஜாலியா இருந்து அதே நேரத்தில் உன்னிப்பா கவனிக்கிறது.
Parivrajaka Yatra, I was moving like a banyan leaf in the breeze. When a leaf falls from the tree, in the breeze how it moves, that's the way I moved in my life. That is why my Parivrajaka, even to remember, is a joy for me. I tell you, shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. So most smartest strategy is hard work with integrity. That's all. That's the most smartest strategy. I decided, let me sit and start doing, start empowering, start enriching. It's actually, that is the way I remember me even now. When I close my eyes, I don't remember me sitting in a golden throne. When I close my eyes, I only remember the boy, village boy with a stick on his shoulder, a kamandalu. Before Hindus could recognize, I have created a very powerful enlightenment ecosystem. Everywhere, spiritual awakening is happening, enlightenment is happening. People are manifesting enlightenment, manifesting powers, everything. Enlightenment ecosystem. The Kailaasa will be the place where almost million power manifestors are living and running. At least 10 million temples and monasteries, which are spiritual embassies of Paramashiva, and reviving this enlightenment, power manifesting civilization. Kailaasa is a place where everything related to super consciousness is revived. All the sampradaya, all the spiritual ecosystems. Kailaasa is a place where everything related to super consciousness is revived. All the sampradaya, all the spiritual ecosystems created for enlightenment will be revived and established in such a way it never gets lost again. There forever serving the humanity.
Swamiji, through his hard work, he has dedicated over his 25 years plus of whole public life constantly into strengthening the roots of Hinduism. There are various aspects, like yesterday we all saw the Guru Shishya Sampradaya. We're going to be seeing one other main important root of Hinduism that is keeping the Hindu civilization one of the longest living civilizations ever, and the one that again Swamiji is reviving back.
Understand Hinduism. I was watching a video and where different people, so many different people from different corners of the world are sharing their opinions about what they understand as Hinduism. How do they look at Hinduism as? I was shocked when I heard, even from countries like India, where people about Hinduism is far behind to what actually Sanatana Hindu Dharma is. Got introduced to the word caste system and discrimination together. I was shocked, and I remember still my teacher gave me an example telling, "Oh, would you, if a maid servant comes to your house, do you think you?" I went to my home, and maybe the next day when the helper came, I asked her, "I normally do feel different or anything?" To her, no, no, they keep telling that we are born from a lower caste, so we are treated like this. And that incident was inside me for a long. How this caste system has to be destroyed. This is one thing that was there always in me.
Actually,
that
for
incident,
many of us Hindus, like genuinely itself, we all believe, we're all taught to be, we're all brought up in that, which divided all of us, which it's not just really not like this, and that's what we all are. Like, understand
the concept of high and low has access to something while someone doesn't. Yesterday we were seeing about the Guru Shishya Sampradaya. Guru Shishya Sampradaya is the backbone of Sanatana Hindu as a religion. Set of commandments like do's and don'ts. But Hinduism is vast. And we'll get this question, so was there really no discrimination before? Or do you mean to say that everything was all right? We're always taught about many examples where this is because the whole system has been abused, has been in a very cunning, convoluted, corrupted way passed. For example, yoga. Yoga today we have it here and doing yoga, something two opposite things put together will do to your system. Yoga is not just some regular workout. Today, that is how it has been taught to us. But yoga is much more deeper. It not only deals with your body and mind, but deals even with your consciousness. Which asana, that pose, where you're standing side, strengthen your nerve. If you drink beer and Shirasasana, your whole nervous system would collapse. What will happen? Somebody gets introduced to yoga in this corrupted form, negative consequences of it, starts hating it. And he goes and in his narrative, and the people whom he talks to, in all of their narratives, yoga has become something that is going to lead to bad consequences. That is why authentic one, which he gives in the Agamas, whichever form you choose, if you see it's not that so many people are enlightened yet, because that has become so corrupted. The concept is like one of the most abused one. Like that, caste system, as what we understand, that caste caste is a new term for the new practice that we have. But what used to be is called as the Varnashrama Dharma. The Jati and Varnashrama Dharma, how they used to exist, is something got corrupted. In Arjuna Vishada Yoga, the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita, the whole Arjuna Vishada Yoga, the first chapter of Gita, tells about Arjuna's dilemma, and where he tells to Krishna that he doesn't want to. It is adharma. He has all these explanations, and he tells, understand, like at that time, it doesn't come from completion for Arjuna. Arjuna, someone isn't his thing, but his ego starts getting hurt. Swamiji beautifully describes about this in the Bhagavad Gita. You all can read the Bhagavad Gita decoded book, where Swamiji explains this in detail. So at that point, he starts giving examples. He tells the lower caste people. At one point he tells, if all the kinsmen get killed, the women of the society become corrupted, and when the women of the society become corrupted, they lose their chastity, and the intercaste and the children are born out of the intercaste verse, telling it as, oh, see, that time until discrimination has existed. So the whole caste is in the same Mahabharata, in the same great race that a dynasty. She was also from a lower caste. According to what we talk today as upper and lower, that time there was nothing called as lower caste. This is a mistranslation of the verse, and this is how it is being explained. But understand, Satyavati was of a lower caste is happening, which is called as a great Kuru Vamsha. Understand?
In Hinduism, all the anti-Hindu forces abuse Hinduism, left Shrama Dharma. We need to look into this whole community system with the idea of ambience, and will start where he will take the birth in the next Janma in the same family and ambience, and will start where he has left and continue his journey. So our civilization is created for that. These invaders, if you don't believe in next Janma, who are you to talk about our civilization? Anti-Hindu forces are the most dangerous forces for planet Earth, because neither they have knowledge nor they are interested in investigating. All they know is the brutal weapons, turning their weapons to the people who are investigating, contemplating. This discrimination of community system itself was imposed on us by invaders. Please understand, the Gayatri mantra, which is chanted by all the Brahmins, is revealed by a Kshatriya, Vishwamitra. The Vyasa, who is worshipped by all the Brahmins, is the son of a fisherwoman, Shudra. If we want the Brahminical superiority to be established, don't we have that much of intelligence just to change the history? Instead of fisherwoman, we could have said one great Brahmin virgin lady was sitting in the boat along with the fisherwoman. Vyasa was born for that lady. How much time it would have taken for us to change the history 2 line? We were not interested in Brahminical supremacy. Understand, we were not interested in establishing any supremacy or authority. We were simply straight. Please understand, in every temple, all the Adishaivas have to worship. Adishaivas are the purest Brahmins and respected even by Brahmins as higher than the Brahmins. Please understand, the Adishaiva Brahmins are respected by the whole Brahmin community as higher than the Brahmins, because they take care, maintain the temple and do the seva to the gods, goddesses directly. So Adishaivas are respected higher than the Brahmins. Means they are, even in the Brahmin community, they are step higher. They have to worship every day the saints of Hindu tradition. In that saints, at least 20 of them are Dalits. Understand? I just wanted to tell the India, you have been taught wrong history and you have been poisoned. The caste discrimination concept was forced on us. Please understand. Today I'll share some of the deeper insights on community system. First chapter, 41st verse. Jesus become common. O Krishna, the women of the family become corrupt, and with the degradation of womanhood, O descendant of Vrishni, ensues intermixture of castes. Whether you accept or not, whether you understand or not, this is the oldest living civilization. How much ever the some section of the Western perverted historians try to suppress the fact remains as fact and truth. We are the oldest living, continuously living civilization with thousands of invaders. They come like a Dravidian movements. Sometime from outside, sometime from inside. They come like a wave, but they disappear. We have seen so many foolish movements, but the civilization, the Indus civilization, the Saraswati civilization still stands. It's a beautiful description. In some of the Sanskrit literature, when few kings attacked the Saraswati civilization in a very organized way, with some extraordinary powers, to dry the whole Saraswati, so that the whole civilization dies. The story says, Saraswati entered inside the earth and started appearing in different places. And wherever she wanted the Saraswati civilization to be, she appeared in all those places. Understand? Wherever you get borewell water, it is Saraswati. All the civilizations which happened based on underground water are Saraswati civilization. It is a very symbolic. She has spread her civilization so wide, vast, that she can't be destroyed anymore.
Just like what we were seeing, that whole thing understood, and the most abused concepts that we have about Hinduism today, as an understanding about Hinduism. Why? Because caste system, discrimination, that is not me, that is not my type. I understand, because I used to think like that. According to me, I always thought that caste system means it's discrimination. Caste system means it is putting someone low, and a lot of people would feel bad about it. They'll not get what they want, and they're not getting the equal rights. Everything. I used to keep thinking like this. But only when I came to Swamiji did I understand that the whole caste system is not like how we perceive and we understand. See, moment British came in, they made the statement, oh, someone who's making the hats is higher than someone making the shoes. They bought the system of something is high and something is low. The moment you make the statement that head is higher than your feet, gone. There starts the discrimination. It doesn't start anywhere else. Usually we quote the example of telling, oh, we always say Brahmanas are head, and like there's a description where I think where we tell like Brahmanas are the head of Mahavishnu, and the Kshatriyas are the shoulders, and then we tell, oh, Shudras alone are the feet. Come on. Do you know in Sanatana Hindu Dharma, head is not higher than the feet. Everything is same. Everything is uniquely powerful. We bow down at the feet. We bow down at the feet of Mahavishnu. Guru Padukas are worshipped. When Rama went to forest, Bharata took Rama Padukas on his head. He carried his Padukas on his head and went as the yatra. It was Rama Padukas that ruled Ayodhya for 14 years in the absence of Sri Rama. We never had the cognition that feet is something low, head is something high. No. There was never such a cognition in Hinduism, in Sanatana Hindu Dharma. Always the whole description is based on head, means it's related to knowledge. So Brahmanas, it is their responsibility to hold, to preserve, to make sure, to balance the knowledge and to be responsible for knowledge in that society. Kshatriyas are described as shoulders because they hold the strength, power, and take the responsibility of power. Shudras are the feet because they do the work, physical work. Each organ, they're described like that because the responsibilities are related to that. Understand the whole concept of discrimination. So we don't have access to the source knowledge. Understand, out of 100 million source books, today we are left only with 20 million, and the 20 million is also not available, accessible to everyone. 20 million books are all spread, many are destroyed. I remember once I went to Chidambaram temple. At that time, there were a whole series of rooms that were locked in the temple. The moment you go into the temple, towards your right side, you will actually see where the Madappalli is. That's a place where the Naivedyam is prepared for Lord Nataraja. And when you walk, there are some rooms that are locked. So a very friendly guide, the Dikshita was our guide, and he was there, and he was guiding us. And I asked him, why are those rooms locked? Then he mentioned that in these rooms, there once upon a time used to be all the books, all the Agamas books, like what Patanjali himself composed, and many other books related to the temple today, which are missing. Understand, we are getting, the source books are being seized from us and are getting destroyed. So we don't have the right introduction about what we do. Samjit always tell, any ritual, which if it is practice, even if you practice a ritual, as a blind ritual, you're not going to have the full benefit of it. You need to know why you do what you do. When the British invaded us, the first thing was they destroyed the Guru Shishya Parampara, the Guru Shishya Sampradaya. They destroyed it, burnt the universities for months together, and destroyed all our source books and translated. Max Muller was chosen to learn Sanskrit so that he can mistranslate our scriptures. He mistranslated all our caste? No. There is absolutely not a single Shastra, Pramana, scriptural reference for the caste system that talks as a discrimination policy. No. That is what was the thing, the weapon that British used to destroy us. Where in our Puranas we have a discrimination of caste. Actually, caste is a more generic word and a very corrupted word with all our misunderstandings and abusive understandings which are filling it. You are born Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. Now, when someone is born as a Brahmana, it's only his jati, not his varna. Understand? In many textbooks, we thought, but the child at his age of 5, he's given the Gayatri initiation teacher and trains the child into various things. Gayatri mantra is innate intelligence awakened, and his path is shown to him. that uniqueness, that unique intent trains him more extensively in that. Understand, that doesn't mean he's not taught anything else. He is taught other into that. And even after he grows up, the options are always available to him. That is why we have, like for example, all of us know Vishwamitra, great Brahma Rishi, a great saint. Yeah. He had 100 sons. He was a great Kshatriya. And while going for a battle, when he sees Vashishta, that time he decides to become a Brahmana. We all in Hinduism had that option. So you are not decided who you are, what. Unfortunately, today, because this system is broken and the system is not being followed, the people who are responsible to hold the knowledge are not holding the knowledge and taking responsibility for it. So many people tend to do blind rituals and then forget our old tradition. The collapse of the caste system, the collapse of Varnashrama Dharma is costing Sanatana Hindu Dharma. Who is born as a Brahmin has the option of becoming from Jati. He might be a Brahmin, but in his karma, meaning through his actions, as his Varna, he can choose to be a Kshatriya. He can choose to be a Vaishya. He can choose to be a Shudra. For example, the Vaishyas, if they see, another beautiful thing about Jati is, today many of the skills that we are learning are more based on, okay, what you learn. See, the next generation is more advanced than you. But that is different. But there are certain skills that require specialization. See, the more you delay and you buy an iPhone, you are going to get the best updated version. From childhood, you need to start specializing in it. For example, sculpting. You need to specialize in it. Only when you're that is why it is a parampara based. The father, from childhood, the son is very clear what he wants to become in the future, and he starts getting trained into that. He starts developing his bio memory, muscle memory into that. And because, see, for example, there is a technique to carve in a very slight carving, but doing very intricate ones. For that, there are certain nuances only a specialized hands would be able to do, which cannot come by 1 or 2 years of practice. It needs to be passed on to you through your genes. Some critics question, oh, doesn't that restrict a child's choice of what life he wants to live? We take birth, when we assume the body, we choose where we want to be born. And our karmas decide what kind of actions we are going to be performing. So everything is well planned and decided by us. So the discrimination or the restriction doesn't exist. And even if a child is doing the sculpting and suddenly he gets an interest and wants to go and learn warfare, the options are allowed. Options. Everything is available in front of us. It's given to us. Varnashrama Dharma is something that protected all the different possibilities of Sanatana Hindu Dharma. It is something that gave a new, unique dimension to each person to discover what they want to be. Breaking of this Varnashrama Dharma affects in multiple levels, affects in various different levels.
Now let's all watch a small video on the
Understand? Just like a jati and varna, for example, you may be born in the jati of Brahmana and you can choose, decide to be Kshatriya. Nothing wrong. Choose to become Brahmana, like Vishwamitra. Nothing wrong. You are accepted and given the topmost title Brahma Rishi. Same way, you can be born in Vaishya family and you can choose to become Brahmana. You are accepted into Brahmana Varna. Nothing wrong. Understand? The Varna, including, accepting, updating, keeping it alive, that body, Brahmin's body, Sannyasi's body, Guru's body, that body was attacked and destroyed by Mohals at that time, because that body was keeping the Varna Ashrama Dharma alive. See, Akkadas were the body, keeping the Varna and Ashrama Dharma alive. Jati is the structure, gives you the possibility and ecosystem. For example, if you are born as a Brahmin, you are given that ecosystem to evolve and become the part of Brahmana Varna. But if you decide you want to become part of the Kshatriya Varna, you are free to do. You are given absolute support and you are declared as Kshatriya by the Panchayati. See, each village used to have the Panchayati. That is why it is called Panchayati Akkadas. The Panch Parameshwar, the 5 experts in that field, each field, will sit together. Either expert in a Brahmana, or Vaishya, or Kshatriya, or Shudra, any field, 5 experts should sit. They are called Panchayati. And that Panchayati, they are called Pancha Parameshwars. That Panchayati declares somebody entering into Brahmana Varna or Kshatriya, same person gets into same Varna, but not compulsorily. This beautiful structure was destroyed by Mughals during the Mughal invasion and twisted and distorted by British, saying that only by birth Varna exists. Jati and Varna is same. That is the biggest crime done by British. Destroying our civilization. Understand? Usually, the Jati person gets into the same Varna, but not compulsorily. And one more thing, Varna is only 4. Varna is only 4. Jati is more than 30,000. That itself should make you understand. Varna is different and Jati is different. Jati is 30,000. Varna is only 4. And the beauty is, if you do not want to fit into any of these Varna or Jati, you are free to declare yourself as Adhyashrami, Paramahamsa, and live the life out of the grid. You can just be out of the grid lifestyle and you are respected by the people who are living in the grid. They give you food, support you and worship you. You don't need to become a thief, robber or antisocial element. You can be beyond society, above social element. That's the beauty of the Hindu society. Many Hindu scriptures describe the cosmic beings, gods. I can give you tons of reference. Shudras by Jati became Brahmana by Varna. Valmiki, Vasishta. Shudra by Jati, but Brahmana by Varna. The CRPC inherited by independent India from British does not give you the knowledge. I tell you, first of all, the Indian education system, instead of teaching you the nuances and subtleties of the Varna and Ashrama Dharma, it teaches you to brush aside the whole thing and destroy it. Even the modern day neo-Hindus, many Hindus feel ashamed about the Varnashrama Dharma. They understand that is the most beautiful social structure, most stable social structure. I will set up a successful model of Hindu original Varnashrama Dharma as per Manu, and then talk to you guys. Hey, if we are still alive, if we are having the pride of oldest living civilization, it is because of Varnashrama Dharma. It is such as flexible as the gear which can unclutch and clutch into multiple other gears. It is a beautiful driving mechanism. The gear need to be very strong, and it should also have the gear mechanism very strong. It can transmit a powerful energy, and it can just like that unclutch from that gear and clutch with another gear. A very stable system of jati for generations. If you choose to become Kshatriya, all it takes is 3 seconds. Conscious decision, declaration, and Panchayati Pancha Parameshwar approving. You are a Vaishya. You can you may be an amazing Shudra, master of agriculture or carpenter by Jati. You can just shift your Varna to Brahmana in 3 seconds. There are tons of evidence. Shudras moving to Brahmana Varna, even to Shudra by Varna, and Brahmana by Jati moves to Vaishya or Kshatriya by Varna. Vaishya by Jati moves to Brahmana or Shudra by Varna. The Varna Ashrama Dharma should be revived. In Kailasa, I will revive it. Actually, these are the reasons why I decided to make Kailasa happen. See, we need a place where I can set up this model community and demonstrate it to the world. I I want my kids to understand untouchability is not wrong. Hey, what are you doing now in Corona's time? Social distance. Our Hindu rishis prescribed the same thing only for health purpose. Understand? Later on, British made us believe it was inequality. Guha. Supposed to be Shudra.
Explained in the video. It was the British who destroyed Sanatana Hindu Dharma's most in
talking about this Varnashrama Dharma, because there are so many intricate details, so many sciences, so many important truths. How Varnashrama Dharma was never discrimination based or never a wrong system, because if it was for the Hindu civilization to be balanced, that is why Sanatana Hindu Dharma is the longest living civilization until date, and the future generations are losing the respect and value for this. I think we can go on talking a lot about it, but what all of us are waiting for, the direct divine audience with the avatar. Now, receive from him the greatest truths from the source, from Paramashiva himself. Let's all now enter. I request all of you to sit with your head. Get into the deep space of unclutching and breathe in and breathe out deeply and slowly. Voham. And tune ourselves into the highest space of listening Upanishad to receive the greatest truths.
Paramashivoham, Paramashivoham, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham, Paramashivoham, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.